Well, the thought of a new year is finally here. A new year, a new me, and much more video games and Minecraft to be played. Well, hello everybody. My name is Shenko and welcome back to the Minecraft Survival Series, episode 30. I hope you all are well. So here I was, in the year of 2025. I was going about my world thinking about what I can do, and I wanted to do some maintenance in this world. So we're gonna get onto that immediately in this episode because I've been collecting a whole bunch of materials for a certain something. And what that certain something is, we're gonna have to go through into another dimension. It won't be in the overworld, but instead in the Nether. If we drop down right here, that right there is my Nether Tunnel that leads all the way to the Wither Skeleton farm. It is quite an expansive tunnel that goes straight for a couple thousands of blocks, and for the most part it has been stuck in this very barren tunnel that I've built in between episodes just so I can get away from all the gas and all the inhabitants of the Nether. But today that all changes because we are going to be redecorating this Nether tunnel to make it slightly more appeasing. Now, in order to build this, we're going to need a whole bunch of materials. Luckily, I have all of them. But what style are we going to build this in? Well, I'm glad you asked. So I have all these materials right here. Some blue ice, some crimson stems, some smooth quartz blocks. We have a whole bunch of tuff, a whole bunch of smooth stone, some cobbled deep slate, pale oak logs, and some basalt, which we are going to use first because this is what I'm going to be using to frame out this entire section. So if you weren't aware of it in the last episode, I mentioned that I've been playing some other games to conjure up some inspiration for future builds in my Minecraft worlds. And one of those games that I've been playing was Doom Eternal. I really enjoyed Doom Eternal. I am a connoisseur. I wouldn't say connoisseur, but more of an enjoyer of first-person shooters. I played a lot of Team Fortress 2 and Quake. And Doom is one of the most important first-person shooters of all time. The atmosphere and the setting for Doom is very gritty. It's very metallic. You know, you see these metal tunnels and fortresses that the demons built on Earth to continue their hell invasion of Earth. So that's essentially what I'm thinking of doing around here. Just try and achieve that sort of aesthetic where we'll be able to get some form of Nether tunnel working right here. Now, being able to establish a Nether tunnel style is going to be very important for the longevity of this world, so that in the future, if I do expand upon this, I have a style that I can follow in order to continue on my Nether escapades. Now, so far that looks fine. There is no ceiling yet, but I'll get to that later. But I want to at least get the walls in, expanded, to see how it would look. Right, that doesn't look too bad. I actually really like how it's coming along so far. But, now I'm starting to think, what can we do for the roof? Well, since we're going through a whole bunch of building at the moment, let's talk for a bit. First of all, Happy New Year! I hope you all have been having a fantastic start to your 2025. It's been rather interesting for me, to say the least, but I am going by just fine. It's actually been very nice this new year, and I don't know, there's a lot to be excited about for when the new year comes, and new expectations and new things could possibly be done here and there. It can get a little overwhelming sometimes, but, well, as long as you take it one step at a time. Excuse me there. Okay, so far this looks pretty good. but don't worry about this thing in the middle. I have a plan to move this drop down chute to the nether ceiling. I have a plan to move this all the way into the middle right here. So this is going to be a hub of some sorts that will spread out into all different parts of the world, including the nether tunnel right here. And so this nether tunnel is going to extend out into the far reaches of the nether, and that nether portal over there leads to the desert area. This can lead to somewhere, and I believe if we go that way, that would lead us to our starting area where the industrial district is. So we'll be able to get started on that tunnel once we're done with this one. But now looking at it, I can start to see... Oh, hang on. This stair isn't in the right place. There we go. Now, it is starting to take shape of what I'm imagining to be that Doom demonic metal fortress vibe like. And it's starting to come up pretty good. I just need to find out what to do with the ceilings. And I was thinking of just using smooth stone, but I need something to contrast that. So I'm gonna try with a little bit of crimson stem. You know what? It's starting to take shape. It's starting to take the aesthetic that I was describing when playing Doom Eternal. These metal walls that feel enclosed but also open enough for you to walk through. And it's looking really nice. I really like this. Now, I am running into a problem with how I initially set up the ice boat road, which is kind of tall. And it means that if you're in between walking, it's going to be quite the challenge in order to get to the other side if there's another tunnel over there. So I'm going to have to do some alterations to the ice boat road, but at the very least I've nailed down a design that I have in mind for the nether tunnel, which is pretty cool. Right, now all I have to do left, I have a whole bunch of materials. I'm going to see how far I can get with this tunnel. I have a whole lot of digging to do and some decorating. So I'm just going to do as much as I can until I run out of materials. Alright, let's get to work then. Let's do this. Now I know what you're thinking. My pickaxe is already really broken. I should have made a lot of progress. Well, I underestimated how much material would take in order to build this tunnel. But look at this. Oh, yes. I actually really love how this tunnel turned out. It really mimics the idea that I had in mind when I was playing Doom Eternal and seeing all these metal tunnels and all. It looks really nice, and I like the pop-up color with the crimson stems. And, well, it's not necessarily finished. Far from finished, actually. I didn't make much progress because I severely underestimated how much material I would go through, especially how much tuff, given that it's about 18 polished tuff walls for all this. I only made it to about here, but I was able to find a neat little solution in order to have the ice boat track right here without interfering with the path, so you could just fly through it just fine without any hassle whatsoever. Now I still have a long ways to go until I make it all the way to the end there, but we've made quite the start here. And I am very proud of how this all turned out. I'm probably just going to work on this off camera all the way to the Wither Skeleton Farm. And at the very least, if I go on the boat road like this, I could just drive through it just fine. Really cool. There's still a lot more that we can do. Number one being the mezzanine area, the main area, where it splits out into all the different sectors, to the desert and also to the Wither Skeleton Farm. I've got to move that hole all the way to the center right about here. And my idea is that when you drop down, you'll end up in the main area, and then there'll be tunnels for you to go wherever you need to go. So we made quite a start, which is pretty nice, but we still have a long way to go. And I'm probably going to finish it off camera because, well, it's a lot of work and a lot of material gathering. So I'll meet you back once I've repaired my netherite pickaxe. You thought we were all done after I built that tunnel? Well, no. We still got a lot more to go because I am inspired. Since it is the new year, I have been taking some time to go around my world to see what else can I do. And it just so happens that I have had a little bit of inspiration for my industrial area. I have a few farms that I want to build. Hello? He's in there. Have you come to work in the warehouse? You just got a few things. You do have small drip leaf, but I already have a lot of that, so feel free to be around the warehouse. But yes, I have been walking around my world to see what else can I do, and I am inspired to do some work here in the industrial area. One, I have a bit of inspiration of what I wish to achieve, and two, there are some things that I would like to change. For instance, this. The path and the road going up in the city itself, I feel like this maybe wasn't the best idea going forward. I mean, I can see what I was trying to do, but maybe not the best course of action. We could definitely do better there, and so I intend on fixing this. I have an idea on what I want to put here, and also, well, the old factory where my iron farm is feeling a little bit isolated, so having a bit of things here to surround it and make it not feel so lonely will definitely come in handy. And well, we have our city planner's outfit on, so I guess it seems thematical that we're going to be working on our industrial area. First things first though, we need materials, and I went around the world again, picking up shulker boxes that have been left behind with some random material. So all these shulker boxes are from parts of my world that I didn't necessarily use. Most of the other materials that were used in the tunnel were all returned to my storage room, and I do have some more items in here. I want to try and see if I can actually do some things with these blocks right here. But first things first, I have to expand this area right here to plan out a road, and then we can start planning in all the other buildings that we want to put in this area. So let's get started, shall we? Alright, so I just got back and I have quite a lot more materials than I would have thought that I had, but we are about to get started here in building and expanding our industrial area. Now, in between the last clip, I have since expanded the road down here. You can see it comes around that corner and up into this corner. I still need to do a lot more expanding of the platform all the way out there. Oh, there's another wandering trader here. What are you selling this time? Ancient debris, diamond ore. Alright, nothing too drastic. But if we fly on up, you can see we have a lot more real estate to play and to build a whole bunch of things around here. And I've been planning all the things in netherrack so that I can sort of visualize it much better against the gray stone. And right here, this little area right here, this little archway is going to be an entrance into this part of the city from down below somewhere. I'm not too sure how this is going to go, but we'll get to that eventually. For now, let's start work on the courtyard area right outside our storage facility. Right, so this is the courtyard area of our storage facility, and if I break through the wall right here, you'll come across this shelving space. When I put in this shelving space, I didn't really think much about what I would put here, but I've since come up with an idea on what to actually place right here, instead of just leaving this whole thing blank. Oh, look at that. They're back. Again. As long as they don't bother me while I'm building my roof, then we'll be fine. Yep, I'm fine with that shape. That looks just fine. Right. Now to fill in the rest of it. Right, so I've been tinkering at this build for any more ideas that I can place into this courtyard, and I do have a few more, but I want to actually get done with a farm. Right in here, I've removed all the shelving, which was right here, and I've also moved this forklift closer to the entrance. Right here, I'm going to be building a dripstone farm, which is probably one of the easiest farms that you can ever build. And this large space right here does make it a prime candidate to place in a dripstone farm. So we are going to do exactly that. So let's just put down all the dripstone. Maybe up until here. We don't want it to overlap the platform. And I guess up until here, no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think about right here should be fine. Okay, there we go. Now, the water is definitely dripping. It's gonna give a lot more sounds to the warehouse, but it's fine. We are gonna be growing a whole bunch of dripstone right here, and look, we already have one. And we got another one. Brilliant. Now, I do need to replace the gray concrete with black concrete because, well, that's what we've been using for the longest time right here. But eventually we'll get to it just fine. And it gives, I don't know, it's a nice addition to the little area that we have here. Yes, it is going to interfere with the pulley system that we have right here, but this has been out of order for quite some time. It doesn't work, so it's just going to stay up there for the foreseeable future. Well, now we actually have a source of dripstone that we can come over and grow whenever we want to. We can get on with building while that is growing. Now I want to create a fence around the warehouse area, and signaled by these polished andesite blocks right here, it's going to be quite a large fenced area. There's a good thing I do have a bunch of iron blocks from the iron farm, so that we can get on with building all of this. I mean, it doesn't look that bad. It looks alright. Maybe a little bit plain. And then do that. That looks better. Yep. I think I'm sold on this design right here. We can deal with the tops later, but for now, that fencing looks fine. I like that. Alright, now I just gotta repeat that all the way around. Well, now it's starting to look more like an actual facility with all these fences up. I do need to do a little bit more to it in order to get it much more refined, because that's not the end. So I need to patch up the roof here. How are we doing in terms of... Oh, we are getting a little bit, which is not bad. We'll get some more going. Go on, Dripstone, do your thing. Where is this guy? Hang on a minute. Where are you? You're in my recycle. Yep, you're in my recycling facility. Hello? What do you have? We have pointed dripstone, but we don't need that right now. But since we left off, I have done a whole lot more building about here, and I can show you. First of all, wow. Okay, we have been growing quite a bit of dripstone here, which we can now come over and just harvest like this. And furthermore, because of all the water dropping down, I've added a drain pipe that hopefully will lead to some sort of sewage system in the future. But if you look to our left, after I put down these dripstone, you would see that we have expanded the garage here to include some of the newer blocks. Because a new shipment has come in, I recently had another truck come in, and it carries with it all the materials from the Gardens Awaken. So a bit of the pale oak wood, some of the resin, and the pale moss, all of it in this truck. It has been sent over to this storage facility, and, well, it looks the part. You can see the creaking's eyes that makes up the design of this crate. And since then, I have been unloading them right here. Really nice. So a lot has been going on. A few more details have been placed in, but it just... something is missing here. I'll admit, something is missing. There seems to be something that, you know, it's just missing. All this industrialization with all these different buildings, and something seems to be missing from these. And I think I know what might be missing. I'm going to take a page out of what BOO did to the city in Hermitcraft Season 10. Now, can I find... We'll grab some tuff. We'll grab these chains. You know what? Let's have a tester by the iron farm. I feel like this would be alright. So that would hopefully look like some sort of generator. Then I can place an observer facing into it. There we go. Now from here I can drag this chain over like a wire over to the facility, like so. And then what I can do here is to have another, let's say we could have something like that to show that at least there's some power going into the factory itself. That doesn't look too bad. Although we can add a few more details here. Let's maybe put some bars down like that. Try something like that. It doesn't look too bad so far. Could definitely add a few more cables to it. You know what? That doesn't look too bad so far, and I feel like this is what we need in order to continue our industrialization here in the industrial area. So let's try and place another one somewhere. Okay, how do they look? You know what? It doesn't look that bad. I mean, some of the branches are a little bit weird, especially that one. I don't know what I was thinking there, but these two look really nice. As for this one, might need a little bit more work, but it's starting to blend everything together. Now we actually have power lines going in between, like so. So now we can actually say that these buildings are indeed powered. So I like how the power lines coming from the towers go into the building as such. I might actually need to refine that one over there because I don't have the blocks, but once I do have the blocks, then maybe it won't be so bad. But for a start, for an initial concept on what we're going for right here, it actually looks really nice. They actually add a lot to the theme, the industrial theme of this area, which means I'm probably gonna do a lot more of them. Thankfully, we have the iron farm there for our chain needs to put up all these wires and cables, but we're starting to get somewhere. I really like this. All right, we gotta continue that, and we also gotta do a few more decorations to the courtyard area of our storage facility. I got a few ideas here, so I'll meet back once I've done all of them. So something has gone wrong here because someone has breached the facility and vandalized the building. What does it say? C64. What? What? I don't even know. Whoever came over here and do this, I'm gonna have to clean it up now. Although, it is quite a bare wall. Yeah, I guess it will work out just fine. But other than that, I've since added another tower, and I've refined these towers a lot more so that they look a lot neater. So now, right here in our industrial area is looking slightly better with all these power lines going about. You can see it is powering some of our buildings here, and it will sprawl over the rest of the area right here. So all these will be built throughout the rest of the industrial area. Wherever there are buildings, there will be power lines that will go towards them to show that there's actually power going into them. However, we are not going to stop there because I think in the future I'm going to be building some sort of a generator area. Some sort of building that shows a large power generator that is delivering power to all these buildings, just so there's a little bit of connection between all these buildings. Now, elsewhere in our storage facility, the dripstone farm is working wonders. Working wonders. But if we come over to the roof of the building and we hop onto the power line, you can see that they all connect to each other. You can see it horizontal and vertical. They all will connect. And sooner or later, there'll be more on that side of the road. There'll be more sprawling about, and there'll be more buildings to connect all these power lines to, which is gonna be awesome. Now, I haven't really added anything else here other than the truck that's carrying all the pale wood and the resin. But I feel like in future updates, when there are more items that will be added, we'll add more trucks here to show that more of the items are being loaded into our storage facility. Just like this old truck that was carrying the old tough and new copper blocks from the previous update of 1.21 Tricky Trials. Now, of course, this is not the end. We got a whole lot more other projects to delve into, such as the subway, which will lead into a nether portal that will lead into the nether with the nether tunnel. We have a few more buildings that we want to build and a whole lot more farms that I want to build in this area, because this area, as I've said before, will become our industrial area where a lot of the farms will be situated. And furthermore, there is one material that I'd like to gather a whole lot more of, and that is, if I can find it, right here. I've been gathering a lot more of this pale moss block because this is really cool. Like, if you put it in the corner, like right here, it actually blends pretty well with the stone itself, and you can use it in your stone texturing as well, which will be really cool. The carpets, really nice. I like how you have the sprawling grass that goes up the wall like this. Really cool. And hopefully in future episodes we'll be building a moss farm for the regular moss and also the pale moss. So honestly, we got quite a lot done today. We had a start at our nether tunnel and we expanded more of our industrial district, including a dripstone farm and as well incorporating some of the other blocks into our builds. Furthermore, we added power lines to up the aesthetics in our industrial area, because it wouldn't be a sprawling urban environment without all these power lines. Yes, some of them might be a little bit dangerous being quite close to the ground, but it should be fine. No one's gonna get electrocuted here. Safety precautions are always there. So we didn't get on with quite a lot as we wanted to, but we at least made a start on a lot of the things that we wanted to do around here, especially these power lines. They are looking very nice. But that is going to be it for episode 30 of the Minecraft Survival series. I really hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like and subscribe to follow along the journey with me. I've been having a lot of fun this year, trying out a few more building ideas and starting to experiment a little bit more with builds. And I hope you all follow along the journey with me to see what else can be done here. When this video goes up, it's going to be Lunar New Year, so hey, happy Lunar New Year to all of you who are celebrating. I know I'll be celebrating very much, enjoying time with my family. But anyways, everybody, that's going to do it for episode 30 of the Minecraft Survival series. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe to follow along the journey with me. As always, my name is Shenko. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Take care of yourselves, be nice to one another, and I'll see you in the next video. Until we meet again, later.